Good morning and welcome to 101.7 KDNO and WyoToday Newsroom. I am your host, Kevin Shields, and I am joined, as I am every month, by Sergeant Stover of the United States Marine Corps. He is our local recruiter, and he has a special guest with him, E1 Private Riggs, fresh out of boot. So we're going to have a little fun today. How you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Private Riggs, how are you?
It's Tuesday morning. It's all right so far.
All right, and of course, since we last spoke with Sergeant Stover, because we had our little government shutdown and all sorts of fun stuff, which I'm sure is just extra politics you all want to deal with, but I know you can't give an opinion, so we'll just skip right past that and go right to, you did have a birthday bash for the United States Marine Corps. What year was it?
It was the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. We had our birthday ball down in Denver with the entire recruiting station. Sergeant Major was there, the commanding officer was there, and we just got together and we ate some food, cut some cake, and we cut a little bit of rug. That's what it is.
Excellent, excellent. I'm sure everybody that we remember from here, like McKeon and Gordon and Aiden, excuse me.
Yeah, Staff Sergeant Woods was there too.
Okay, I don't remember him, so he may not have been here when I was here because I think McKeon was the first one I met.
Brooke Woods,
I've only been here 4 years, so it's been a hot minute. So of course, 250th birthday bash. So we're gonna quiz. I'm wondering if we should do it to Private Riggs. Some of the things I've seen before that are. So where was the Marine Corps founded?
Marine Corps was founded in Tun Tavern, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
What year?
It was 1775, November 10th.
Is he correct? I don't know.
That is 100% correct. And if he came out of recruit training and he didn't know that, I'd be really worried. But yeah, we're really big into the history, and during recruit training, they dive into everything about Marine Corps history, from the reason that we were originally founded to major battles and conflicts that we've been involved with, and they're expected to memorize it their first month there, and then coming into that second month, they're actually tested on it with a written test. So,
excellent. So, Denver was fun.
Absolutely. It was amazing.
It was fun. It was fun. I'm guessing that was a dress blue festivity.
That was our most senior uniform. We were in the dress blue alphas. So, like, the full dress blues that you see me in, normally I just have the ribbons and my shooting badges on it. But whenever we go to the ball, we wear our medals. So we actually wear the full medals on our dress blues. We're not allowed to wear those out in town. Just like we're not allowed to wear the camouflage uniform out in town, just off base or outside of a formal function. So we really get dressed up for that, and everything is super shiny. I have a separate set of dress blues that I specifically set aside for the ball. So everything has to be absolutely pristine.
Excellent. So what does Sergeant Stover have medals for?
So I have the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal. I was awarded that twice. I of course have 2 Marine Corps Good Conduct medals. So I've went over 6 years without getting in any kind of trouble. So you get those if you have good conduct. I have the Global War on Terrorism, and then I have the National Defense Service Medal.
Excellent. And out of curiosity, between that, all the rest of the brass, as well as the shoes and whatnot, before the ball, how many hours were you shining things? Or polishing things?
So the first time that I did it, because it usually takes me about a week to 2 weeks to prepare my uniform for the ball, to include going to the dry cleaner, making any last minute adjustments with the tailor. I got one out of Rock Springs. So she made adjustments to my uniform, any last minute adjustments to the uniform. The belt, I bought a brand new, the white belt, I bought a brand new one this year, because the other one started to had a little smudge on it, and it didn't want to come out. So brand new belt. The buckle is one that I keep wrapped in bubble wrap and felt, and I bought it 2 years ago, and I only wear it to the ball. So I just pull that one out of the box, get the dust off it real quick. A little Windex will really make that one shine. The shoes, Windex over and over and over, and then shoe shine to get them that mirror polish that we have on our they're called core fams. So you get the mirror polish on it. That takes about 2 to 3 hours. It takes a long time. And then for the buttons, I had to buy the new buttons. So they're the anodized one, the really, really shiny ones. And that takes about 30 to 45 minutes just to put them on the coat. So it takes you a little bit to put everything together.
And then the hope is on the drive down, nothing spills, nothing comes.
Exactly. I wrap
Getting out, you don't rub against something.
Yep. I change at the hotel. And then I have the garment bag that has like the nice the film, like the plastic film that you get from the dry cleaner. Wrap that in that, and then I wrap it in a garment bag and hang it up, and just hope that whenever I get there, it's ready to go. And I always carry a last-minute lint roller, last-minute Windex. I carry that with me. So whenever we get to the ball, it's absolutely pristine.
You sound like my Greek fat wedding movie with the Windex. When he believed Windex took care of everything.
I'm telling you, it's a great life hack. It's a great life hack for the Marine Corps. Like the buckle, the shoes. If you just got like a little bit of dust or a little bit of water stain on it, spray a little bit of Windex, get a microfiber cloth that comes right off, and you have that mirror polish again.
Excellent. Well, we're glad you had a good time. Stop it. He's just looking at me with a smile. So now we're going to move over to private rigs. Private rigs on the other end of the spectrum. When did you get out of boot camp? Where'd you go?
So I got out of boot camp. It was November 25th, and it was down in Marine Corps Recruit Depot in San Diego, California.
You missed San Diego weather.
It was nice.
Not everything you went through outside in it, but just the weather itself.
Yeah, the weather was all right. From the family I had here, apparently it was about the same the time I was down there. I feel a little gypped. I'm not down there now.
Yeah, so you're when he said you're fresh out of boot, you're 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was the experience like? And give us a little insight into day one, the moment you got the bus arrived on the base. Did culture shock at all? Intensity shock?
Yeah, I went in. I kind of knew, when I get off, there's going to be somebody. They're going to start yelling at me, but didn't really set in until those yellow Marine Corps footprints. You stand there and then you realize, oh, I'm here, and there's no real getting out of it just yet. But it wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. It was just understanding that this is kind of where I need to be, and I'm going to get through it.
See, that's one of the things I always got, because you watch these YouTube videos and you see these kids crying and basically just, oh, it's so bad. And I'm sitting there going, did you do zero research at all? Have you not looked up? Because all 4 branches have filmed it. They filmed the first thing, and they don't hold back. So it kind of gets me when people are like, I didn't sign up for this. You don't. YouTube's been a thing for a long period of time. So tell us a little bit about yourself, too. Are you from Riverton, or are you from the area?
I am from the Lander area. We've been here, 11 years at this point. And it's, that nice small community. And it was kind of a change as well when I went to the boot camp. You go from right here where 20, 30 minutes to get anywhere to, oh, you mean everybody's out there getting KFC 5-minute drive. Um, so I'm definitely used to this nice emptiness out here.
Now, you mentioned the yellow footprints, and for those who don't know what that is, Sergeant Stover.
So the yellow footprints, every Marine has stepped on the yellow footprints. And on the yellow footprints, there you get your brief of, you get like the brief about Marine Corps recruit training. And then after you're on those yellow footprints, you're in a nice, they have them there because standing in formation is part of the thing that you do at recruit training. And that's the first time of you standing in formation on the recruit depot. And then you pass through these big silver hatches. And through those hatches, again, every Marine has passed through those hatches, and you will pass through them once and only once. Even the drill instructors who are getting you through that, they don't go through those hatches after you. They walk around. Because that is to signify you leaving your civilian life behind, and now you are on your journey to become a United States Marine. That's what those two things represent. That's where it all starts. And then after you get through that, then you do the contraband search, the haircut, you get your uniforms, then you're on your way to your first brief and your first series of classes down at Recruit Depot. And that lasts quite a while.
All right, so we're going to ask you for a little bit of inside pool, as they say, so to speak, here. And at boot camp, or at recruit training, let's get it right. At recruit training, what was the thing that surprised you the most with its difficulty or shock when you first got there, or after you'd been there a couple days, or after you'd had that first night where you woke up and you're like, oh, this isn't a dream, I'm really here? What was also the thing that surprised you because it was easier for you? You took it almost like fish to water, so to speak. What was the easiest and what was the hardest two things?
So definitely one of the harder things was that first 36-ish hours, because they get you there and they're issuing all your gear, and they have to teach you how to properly do things before you can get to actually getting a night's rest. So that first day, 2 days, you don't really sleep. They have you keep going, get to each chow, and then you keep learning the next thing. So that's kind of the most draining part. But I didn't have really too much difficulty. I enjoyed doing most of it, drill especially, all the movements and the facings and the marching. I enjoyed that. It was fairly easy. It's just taking one step after another. But yeah, I'd say the most difficult part for me was just that first day or two, really getting into how it's going to be here, and then not getting any sleep.
You talk about lack of sleep, and it's something that I think you and I have talked about before, but I know Aiden and I talked about, and you mentioned getting to the next chow and that goes along with some of the things we've talked about, making your world small. Don't break it into, don't look at the whole pie. Look at, okay, well, they have to feed me X amount of times per day. I got to get to the next meal. For someone who's sitting at home and they're either contemplating this, or they've already initiated conversations with you, or whatever have you, what is a small piece of advice you could give them to, hey, here's how not to get overwhelmed when you first show up? Outside of the norm that you are going to be overwhelmed, because it's somewhat designed to overwhelm you, but how do they just keep putting one foot in front of the other? What is something that you could share with them?
So a way that I kind of got through it, when you're sitting there, it's a little chaotic. You just have to know that what the drill instructors are doing is their job. They're paid to be there. They're paid to teach you and instill that discipline into you. And you can't let it get under your skin. You have to just, somebody did this, so I guess we're all now doing this, and we're gonna get through it. They're paid to be here. I'm paid to be here. I'm getting paid to go and do push-ups, sit-ups, get 3 meals a day, and none of this is coming out of my wallet. So if I just get through this, be the next day.
Okay, so thinking back, we're going to jump in a time machine here real quick,
Okay.
Sergeant. So, what was your first day like at recruit training?
So, I was part of that population that didn't do much research on recruit training. So I was only in the pool for about roughly a month. So by the time I went to the military entrance processing station to the time I shipped out to recruit training, it was very short. So I didn't go on YouTube. I didn't go do all that. I was just excited to go. And then when I stepped off the bus, it was a very big culture shock. I've never seen or heard of a drill instructor prior to me getting there, so I was very overwhelmed at the point where I was like, "What is going on?" And that was back in early 2019, and it was complete and utter chaos, is what it was. When I stepped on the yellow footprints, I had no idea what was coming next. I had no idea what the recruit training matrix looked like. I didn't do any research on it. So for me, I didn't even know what was coming next. So I was not, when I stayed up for that initial, like, 1.5 days, that 36 hours, I didn't expect that. I didn't know what the ins and outs of recruit training were going to be. But, I still got through it because I knew that it was just, again, make your world small. Make it small. Chow to chow is the mindset that I had. And I made it through. And really and truly, I enjoyed it. I think because I didn't do a whole lot of research into it, I think it did what it was designed to do. And it was take this person that was taken off the streets of Lyman, Wyoming, and made a Marine out of him.
And were you in San Diego as well?
I was also in San Diego.
Okay. Who all hosts recruit training? I know San Diego does. I know, obviously, South Carolina, a certain little island named after the French capital, does. It's rather famous.
So we only have two recruit depots. We have Parris Island, and we have San Diego. Now, officer candidate course, or officer candidate school, excuse me, that's held in Quantico, but that's for the officer route. But those are the only two places for enlisted initial recruit training.
And is it based on like geography? Past a certain line, you're going to San Diego. East of a certain line, you're going to Parris Island.
Yes, exactly.
Or is it just people they don't like and they want to experience 100% humidity in Parris Island, which nobody from Wyoming has ever seen. 100% humidity, folks, it means it's raining, but there are days in South Carolina in the southeast where it's 100% humidity and there's no rain, which goes against all scientific logic.
It's one of those painful things. Humidity, you step outside and you're immediately soaked. That's how Okinawa, Japan is in the summer. It is absolutely atrocious. So yes, anybody on the east side of the Mississippi River goes to Parris Island. Anybody on the west side of the Mississippi River goes to San Diego. Now, our own Jameson Spradlin from Riverton High School, he will be going to Parris Island because his dad went to Parris Island.
Okay.
So there's that rule of legacy.
Okay.
So if one of your immediate parents went to Parris Island, you also have the option of going to Parris Island.
Oh, I don't know last time JMO actually experienced humidity of that level. And that's not to make it seem easy because I'm sure in San Diego, what I do know about San Diego, I'm sure at some point in time you had to go get wet doing something or another. And the Pacific is cold.
Oh, yeah.
And people don't realize it when they hear the temperature. They're like, oh, well, that's perfect air temperature. Yeah, no, not when it's water. Did you at least get any chance to either before or afterwards or anything like that to actually see the better part of San Diego? It's probably the best city in California, and if people in LA are listening to this right now, yes, I mean that. The San Diego is probably the best city in California. Did you get a chance to, or was it just business, and then next thing you know, you're home?
We did get a chance. So the way they kind of had us, nothing beforehand, outside of just flying into the airport and getting to the little area there before we get on the bus. But afterwards, they had us graduate. We got off of the, we call it the parade deck. It's the special ground that we wear our blues on, and we get off there. We're with our families, and it just lets you go. I was actually very fortunate. We knew a guy in our platoon whose mother owned a boba shop just 10 minutes away from where the recruit depot was. So we got to go hang out a little bit in San Diego and then go see his boba shop, and probably gonna head there again after I'm sent back.
Speaking of that, how long are you back here in Fremont County, and where are you headed to next, and to do what?
So I am here just until January 6th. I've got my recruiter's assistant, what brings me in here today. And then whenever I head back, I'm going to be going through what is Marine Combat Training, or MCT. It's going to be a lot of stuff out in the field, kind of a more in-depth 3 weeks of kind of what we did in the second phase of our recruit training. So it'll be lots of outside stuff, lots of firearms training, and a lot of things like that.
And because we always are curious about what jobs are like in the Marine Corps, because I know everybody think, and of course there is the phrase "every man a rifleman," but at the same point in time, not as many people are in the infantry side of things, if you will, as you think. I mean, the coolest title still Staff Sergeant. I just forgot Aiden's last name.
Martin.
Martin.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to call him Gordon early. Aiden Martin with anti-tank missile gunner. Meanwhile, we got like McKeon, who was like, and I'm purposely giving him crap on this, was more like, Pep Boys. And then you did.
So I'm a ground electronic transmission systems maintainer.
Yeah, so see, anti-tank missile gunner, and you're going to be.
I'm going to be a cryptologic language analyst. It's a lot of intercepting foreign messages and deciphering those.
And folks, one of the things we talked about off air beforehand was, well, it's got crypto in the name. It's the old version of the word, if you will. It's about encryption and things of that nature. It's not cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it's not Bitcoin.
It's not Bitcoin or anything like that. That's kind of taken over that word. So, what made you? Obviously, you talked about off air. Your test scores were really good, and that's one of the paths you had. What were some of the other things you were trying to get it down to when you were trying to think about, and what appealed to you about this?
So I've always been very interested in electronics, and one of the paths I wanted to go down was anything to do with some kind of computers, and then languages. I've always thought about getting to learn another language, but I've never sat down and really gotten down to it. So when I had this pop up, yeah, that sounds great. I get to go and mess around with computers, deal with some of this kind of top secret-esque stuff, and they're going to make me learn another language. Yeah, sounds great. Sign me up. I'll do that one.
Excellent. So that's what appealed to you and brought you to there. And now kind of really the overarching question, and you can be honest because nobody will hold it again. Why the Marines?
So I chose the Marine Corps because I scored really well in the ASVAB. I knew I was very smart, but I've not always been in the greatest shape of my life. And so I really wanted to go the place that was going to challenge me the most physically and the most mentally, to make sure that I can hold, true my my values, and Marine Corps was just the perfect place for me to do that.
And we realized you just got out of recruit training just either before or right after Thanksgiving. I'm trying to place the date. I think it was right before.
2 days before.
2 days before. So that was kind of nice. Probably got to get home in time to spend a little holiday time with Sergeant Stover. But have you thought at all yet, and if you haven't, that's cool, about what you want to do as far as, is Marines a career path? Do you have, hey, I want to get these skills, and then the reason I picked this job is this is the direction I want to go?
So I chose, I kind of want to go down do my 5 years and see where I end up. I'll most likely get out and go work somewhere else in government, doing kind of what I was doing here. But depending on how I feel and kind of how much I think that I'm really needed, I might be inclined to stay around, help out the people who coming in after me. But for now, I'm just looking for doing my time, do it the best that I possibly can, and then head on out.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on graduating recruit training. Good luck in your upcoming combat training. You leave on January 6th. So until then, you're just like, do whatever he tells you to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, we have fun. We have fun. So like whenever they come back on recruiters assistance, that's just our opportunity to kind of help mold them after boot camp. Like show them some tips and tricks about being a Marine, their uniforms, uniform tips and tricks, kind of things like that.
The Windex thing.
Yeah, exactly. They don't teach you that. They don't teach you that in recruit training. That took 3 years of polishing my shoes without Windex to find out that was a thing. And then that was what my Staff Sergeant Neasy, he was the one that showed me that. And I was like, you are a genius, sir. Thank you. So
yeah, there was probably a little part of you going, why didn't you show me sooner?
Exactly.
So what have you got coming up? Of course, I'm going to evidently be joined on color commentary at 2 of the basketball games this week, Thursday and Friday, by what's his rank? What's his name again?
So his name is Sergeant Bastion. He is the recruiter for Casper, more specific Kelly Walsh, the rest of the high schools that are in Natrona County besides Natrona County High School.
So Kelly Walsh.
I mean, you have a couple of smaller ones in there. You have like Roosevelt High School, and then he covers all the way up to Lusk, Sheridan, Buffalo, those Douglas schools up there. So he covers that end of the spectrum, while I'm over here covering this side of the Bighorn Basin.
Well, we'll be glad to have him. And just a reminder here on 101.7 KDNO, starting Thursday, if you're a high school basketball's here. If you're a high school basketball fan, we will be live. Thursday's a little lighter. It's at 3 and 4:30 Riverton on KTAK, which I'll be bringing along with Sergeant Bastion. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir, you did.
Okay, cool. Don't call me sir. But then Friday and Saturday here on KDNO, it's Wyoming Indian. 4 games each day. 2 boys, 2 girls, with Cody Beers and his son Baylor's joined him for that. Lander Valley plays weirdly, like boys play 2 and girls 1 on, I think, Friday, and then exact opposite on Saturday. Of course, that'll be on KFCW. But Thermopolis, who's on this station, will be on. They're facing Lander in the Lander Invite on Friday night. And then we've got, of course, Saturday, Riverton plays 4 games total between the girls and boys. Wyoming Indian plays 4 games total, boys and girls. Lander plays 3. Thermopolis doesn't play. So it's kind of like a almost like the end of the year regional for us as far as the time goes. So starting at 8 a.m., going all day, the WyoToday Family Networks will have some basketball for you, including here on 101.7 KDNO. We are also very aware that there is a buzzing sound going on KDNO and KWYW right now. We are aware of what it is. It's a weird, obsolete piece of equipment that's been replaced. So that, if you're listening right now, will hopefully be fixed this week. It took all day Saturday of myself, Kirk, our in-house engineer, David, our out-house engineer, I just said out-house engineer, out-of-house engineer, to figure it all out. So in closing, just to let people know those things, what's coming up for the United States Marine Corps here in Riverton?
So we have Saturday.
Waiting for you to say we're getting a new guy, because that happens every year.
No, we're not getting a new guy anytime soon. We're gonna be sticking around here for a little bit. So we are gonna be doing Stuff the Bus with you guys throughout the week. And on the weekend we're gonna be doing Stuff the Bus with WyoToday.
And that'll be Saturday. You're also working with the Christian Motorcycles Association.
Absolutely, we're going to do the Christmas parade with the Christian Motorcycle Association.
And that is, and they're going to be at our event, if I'm not mistaken, as well. It's kind of a combo event that Sutherland's does every year. Sutherland's this Saturday from 10 to 2 is a huge Stuff the Bus, and then of course we've got one in Lander too as well that day. We appreciate it. I asked Alexa because she kind of spearheads our Stuff the Bus efforts. I'm going to be in Casper for basketball. She's like, well, all I need you to be able to do is say yes or no to certain things, like spending money. But I was like, can you use the United States Marine Corps? She's like, if it's just to empty the bus at the firehouse, just because y'all are more in shape than the rest of us by design, because if I'm not sure any enemy would be fearful if they saw me coming over a hill. So you got Stuff the Bus. What do you guys have though coming up? Anything this Christmas season?
So we have I'll be up in Powell this Friday for their invite. I'm going to be doing some stuff with them up there. But any major events, not into December. We don't have anything major going on other than the pool function and the things that we do with you, which are big events for us. We at RSS Casper, we love doing it with you guys, having the community involvement with you guys. That's kind of the big things that we put on our schedule. And then coming into January, hopefully we got some fresh faces in the pool program. None yet, but we're getting there.
There you go. And private rigs, obviously you said, where is your combat training? Is it back in San Diego?
It is back in San Diego.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any idea, or at what point will you figure out where you're going to be stationed at?
So for me, after I'm done with my combat training there in San Diego, I will be going to then my schoolhouse over in Monterey, California. Can't get out of that place. But I'll be doing there for 10 months, and then I'll get my official first station where I'll be doing my job.
So everybody always has a preference. If you could pick your dream place to be stationed, where would it be?
I would honestly love to be down in Okinawa, Japan. I would love to be somewhere
been hanging out with this guy too long.
No, but I just love to be somewhere outside of the U.S., see a different side of the world, have a new outlook on life with the ways that we live here and the ways they live there, and kind of bring some of what I have there back with me.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Sergeant Stover, always a pleasure. Thank you, Private Riggs, for joining us today on WyoToday Newsroom. For Private Riggs, Sergeant Stover, this has been Kevin Shields. Sarah will be back with you tomorrow here on WyoToday Newsroom on 101.7 KDNO.